The sand scorched through my shoes, searing my feet with every step. The sun pressed down on me like punishment from above, and the horizon stretched endlessly, mocking me with its emptiness. They said the walk would clear my mind. Get some fresh air, it'll help you think, they'd insisted. My sister waved from the car window, laughing, her voice fading into the roar of the engine as they drove away. Then it was just me, 6 months pregnant, standing alone in the middle of nowhere. The desert was silent, except for my heartbeat echoing in my ears and the faint flutter of life inside me, as if my baby sensed something was wrong. At first, I called out to them. Then I shouted. Then I stopped. That's when I understood the truth. This wasn't an accident. They hadn't forgotten me. They'd left me. Backstory set up the family dynamic. It had always looked perfect from the outside. Warm dinners, polite prayers, laughter that lingered too long. But perfection hides rut. My sister, Leela, was the golden child, beautiful, clever, and cruel in ways only I could see. My parents adored her. I was the quiet one, useful, obedient, easy to overlook. When I found out I was pregnant, I braced for anger or disappointment. Not this. You've always been careless, my father said. Maybe now you'll finally grow up. I didn't realize that his idea of teaching me responsibility meant abandoning me like trash in the desert. Discovery of betrayal. It began as whispers, hushed phone calls that ended the second I walked into a room, side glances over dinner, Leela's smirk whenever she asked about the baby's father. Then one night, I overheard her. Don't worry, she told my mother. By the time anyone finds her, it'll be too late. We'll just say she wandered off. You know how emotional she gets. I didn't move, didn't breathe. I just listened, and something inside me hardened. The pain didn't come as tears. It came as fire, cold, clear, unrelenting fire. Shift in mindset, the plan begins. They thought the desert would kill me, but instead, it taught me how to live. I walked for hours until I found a dirt road, followed it to a gas station. The man there called an ambulance. They saved me and my baby. I didn't tell the police what truly happened. Not yet, because justice, given too soon, is wasted. I let them think I was gone. Obituaries were printed. They held a funeral. My parents cried for the cameras. My sister wore white and dabbed at fake tears. News anchors called it a tragedy. But I was alive, watching, waiting. 9 months passed. I rebuilt everything, new name, new city, new purpose. I hired a private investigator to trace every hidden account, every secret, every lie. Quietly, I gathered proof. Then I moved. Execution of the plan. I sent anonymous tips to journalists, a leaked voicemail here, a bank statement there. Slowly, their perfect facade began to crack. My father's company, built on fraud, collapsed. My mother's charity, exposed as a money laundering front, made headlines. And Leela, she was tied to it all. Reporters surrounded their mansion. I watched it all on TV. Leela pale, trembling, trying to look innocent. I almost smiled, but I wasn't finished. A week later, I mailed them a package. Inside was the ultrasound photo they'd left in my car that day. On the back, I'd written, "You should have made sure I didn't walk out of that desert." Then I released the dashcam footage, the one showing their car speeding away while I stood there in the heat, pregnant, crying, and waving. It spread across the internet in hours. The world turned against them. Headlines screamed, "Family abandons pregnant woman in desert for inheritance money." Everything they'd built, gone. Climax, the confrontation. A year later, I returned. Same house, same dusty driveway. They didn't recognize me at first. Short hair, new face, new strength. Leela stepped forward, trembling. "You're alive." "Yes," I said quietly, "and so is he." I nodded toward the car, where my son slept peacefully. My father opened his mouth to speak, but I silenced him with a look. "I thought you wanted me to learn responsibility," I said softly. "I did, and I learned patience, too." Leela broke then, dropped to her knees, crying, begging for forgiveness. But mercy was never part of my plan. I turned away as police cars pulled into the driveway. Resolution, emotional release. The media called me the miracle woman, the one who survived against all odds. But survival was just step one. Sometimes, late at night, I still hear the desert wind, still taste the dust, still remember the sound of their car fading into the distance. But it doesn't haunt me anymore, because that same wind carried my revenge, through courtrooms, headlines, and shattered reputations. They wanted me forgotten. Instead, I became unforgettable.